Hello again, everybody. I came across something the other day that I had a good laugh at, and I think you'll understand why and really connect to it. Here it is. It says, fun fact, out of the 400,000 people who attended Woodstock, 637,000 are still alive today. I mean, so true. I think if we actually did a survey, a real survey of Americans across the country and said, hey, you look old enough. Did you attend Woodstock? I bet you would probably come up with a couple million people. And I think, why do we do that? Why do we make up stories like that when clearly we know they're not true? There are a couple of reasons for that, which I'm going to circle back to. But for now, I just want to tell you that it does relate to the world of investing. We tend to remember things differently. Back in the day, years ago, when we were investing in different parts of our younger lives, and when we do that, we actually can make mistakes between now and in the future. I'm going to explain how that happens, all right? So for now, let's go back to the two reasons of why people do this all the time. Number one, we like to think that we are part of something big. So in the case of a Woodstock, or, I actually was down watching the Apollo, 11 take off, or something like that. We like to be part of that in crowd because it gives us some sort of self-importance, like we have something to offer people. Number two is actually kind of a different way to look at this. It's we don't want to be part of a crowd. We don't want to be part of something negative. I'll give you an example. A number of years ago, I read of a survey that was conducted regarding President Nixon. And one of the questions was asked, did you vote for Richard Nixon in 1972 for his second term? Now, what the survey researchers found out is the number was so infinitesimally small that if they even spread that out over to the population of the United States, there is no way Richard Nixon could have ever gotten close to the White House in 1972. In fact, he would have lost in a landslide to George McGovern because nobody wanted to admit that they actually voted for the guy because we like to practice revisionist history. Oh, everyone could see that guy was going to be a crook. I mean, we all knew something like Watergate would happen. Yeah, right. I can describe this very human phenomena by quoting the great Czech writer of the last century, Milan Kundera. I love this quote. It's got 3 sentences, so let's look at that right now. Man proceeds in the fog, but when he looks back to judge people of the past, he sees no fog on their path. Love that. From his present, which was their faraway future, their path looks perfectly clear to him. Good visibility all the way. Looking back, he sees the path. He sees the people proceeding. He sees their mistakes, but not the fog. I mean, seriously. That's why I do this for a living. I wish I had that kind of a skill, whether it's a poet or a great lyricist or novelist or philosopher, but that is so well stated of what we all do. Folks, what Milan is really saying is, when we live in the present moment, we can't begin to know what's going to be in our path, in our life a year from now, certainly 10 years from now. When we get to that future and we look back on our present selves here, we see everything that we were struggling with. We see that in clear detail. We don't see the fog. We don't understand that we didn't have that prescient look going forward. Investors do that all the time. So many examples, but I was talking to a gentleman not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, and he was talking about investing in the 2000s, and I'll never forget what he said. You know, everybody could see the housing bubble that was being created in '05 and '06 and '07. Didn't surprise me at all that the stock market just crashed. And I said, oh, well, okay, so you got out of the market near the top? And he paused and he goes, no, I didn't. I mean, I stayed with it. But I eventually made my money back, years later. And I'm thinking, if you really knew with confidence that you're showing me right now that the market was going to be cut in half, why on earth would you have stayed invested? We all know the answer. He didn't know it at the time. He had no idea. So and as when I called him out a little bit on that, he even said, well, no, I didn't get out, but I won't make that mistake again. You see what's happening here? Just like Milan Kundera just said, this gentleman, and we all do it, not picking on one guy, but he looked to his past. He saw all the tumult. He saw all the chaos that was happening in the 2000s, but he didn't really see the fog that was going on at the time. The fog being we didn't know where it was going. We cannot see the path in front of us. It was all clear in hindsight. You better understand, seriously, as an investor, how this works. Because I'll get back to this gentleman again now. Remember what he said? But I won't make that mistake again. What that potentially sets this investor up to do is next time he thinks he sees a bubble of some sort, whether it's housing or market or whatever, he might be very quick to pull out of the market because he was burned once. He's not going to let that happen again. And that is a very, very poor way to invest. I talk about this all the time, folks. You could literally look back at all the titles of my podcasts right now in the library, and many of them have to do with trying to time the market and having patience and long-term. Check them out. The reason I talk about this so much is because to me, it's the number one impediment to keep all of us from being successful investors long-term. We look in the past, we don't see the fog. As we are sitting here now, no, yes, there is fog, but it doesn't matter. You can't try to predict the future. And let me say, don't beat yourself up when you get it wrong in the past and think, I'll never make that mistake again. No, you learn from your mistakes. Obviously, we do that in everything. We should do that with everything in life, and that includes investing. Become smarter from those past mistakes. But don't think that somehow you can become a better predictor of where the market is heading, because you cannot. There will always be that fog, but you don't have to worry about trying to look through it. All you have to worry about is your own unique long-term plan and stick with it. Like I like to say, it works every time it's tried. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to the Simon Says podcast. Please be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't done so. Leave a comment, question, and be sure to pass this along to people you believe will benefit from the information I provide every week. Thank you very much.